Hi everybody, I'm Haley.
And I'm Kayli.
And today we're talking about Tropes, Halloween edition.
Ooh, that's right. Things are getting a little spooky around here.
What is a trope, Kayli? I don't know what that is.
Oh, I didn't look that up.
I didn't either. I'm going to say it in my words.
Okay.
A trope is something, it's usually movie related, right? Like a movie trope, it's not a book trope.
There's tropes in books.
Tropes. It's kind of like a general theme that happens and is shared across certain media, generally in the same genre, or almost like a stereotype. But
yeah,
let's see the actual words from the queen herself. Google.
Oh, here. A common or overused theme or device.
Okay.
That's what
that
it
was
is.
way better than what I said.
I like yours better.
Thank you. So now that we know what a trope is,
Mm-hmm.
you wanted to get it. You wanted to get into some of those,
Right.
But yeah, you can go first, I guess. What's one of the tropes you notice with Halloween movies?
One of the tropes that I've noticed in horror movies, and that I also looked up online because I was having a hard time articulating tropes in horror, was conjuring evil, such as using a Ouija board to contact spirits from the other side, and then things happen that are usually bad. So
that is usually horror films.
That's usually what happens. But I was interested in the history of Ouija boards. Do you know anything about the Ouija board?
I know that you're not supposed to have one. I know you can't throw one away. And I know that when you're using it, if you do want to finish, you have to say goodbye. Or you have to do some kind of a proper exit of the seance. But what is it, Kaylee?
So the history behind it's kind of interesting. So it started off as spiritualism, you know, when the people were craving a connection to the other side. You know, back in the day, we didn't live that long because they experienced death a lot with like the wars and with the childbirth and people just dying earlier. They had a need to connect to those that had passed away. And there was a technique that they used called knocking or tapping, where basically they would run through the alphabet. And then whenever they got across a letter that the spirit was trying to use to spell a word, knock, knock. But the people who created the Ouija board, they're trying to capitalize on making this a little bit quicker, because they're like, we're not going to be sitting around here talking to the air and trying to hear a knock. We could just do it on a board. And spiritualism was taking effect. And so people didn't see this as like a bad thing. They really liked it. They would do a Ouija board seance on Saturday, go to church the next day. They were chilling.
It was literally to talk to people that like you were trying to contact, because I know now people just like try to talk to anybody, anything that's around, but they were like actually trying to talk to people who had maybe passed away or something like that. Okay.
That was a big thing. Or just also, it later turned out to like kind of give more general advice, like a magic 8-ball kind of thing. But most people were really chill with it until The Exorcist came out.
The movie itself. In the 70s, 80s? That's what did it? I thought it was kind of a no thing forever.
People were really chill with it until that movie came out, and then they're like, oh my god, Reagan used the Ouija board and got possessed, and they had to do an exorcism and everything. So after that movie came out, that's when people were not vibing with the Ouija board anymore. But yeah, so like some examples of movies that use the Ouija board will be The Exorcist, obviously, Ouija, the movie that came out that was ass, and then Paranormal Activity. There's a very reoccurring trope of them like trying to destroy a Ouija board and then that hoe come back home.
So with that being said, would you try one, or have you tried one?
I've never tried one. I remember one time I was with these ratchet ass kids who were like, hey, you want to play with this? I was like, no. I was like 8 years old. I was like, hell no. I left. I told my parents, I was like, Dad,
not you
they're
left.
trying to play with it.
Because I don't want to find out.
No.
Y'all might have a great time. Good for you. But it's like the benefit risk factor is, on one hand, it might be just a cool, fun experience, a cool story. Maybe it gets some secrets of the world. On the other hand, you're dead or you're possessed. Like, it's just not a good trade-off.
Right.
I'm just like, and do you know who you're calling on?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm like, I need to talk to people who started doing it that were all fine with it in the beginning. I'm like, wait, sorry, side note. Do you remember that test? Was it Charlie? It was like people,
Charlie.
Shh.
Oh.
What is wrong with you? I said the name once.
I'm sorry.
Ready to go. I think they would
It's like
take
Beetlejuice.
Yes. They would take like a pencil and
on top of
paper
it, yeah.
and it would. Now this was in the OG days of the internet, and I swear those were some actual
demons.
Video. It would start spinning, and I'm like, not y'all. This is not Like, the challenges that we had back in the day were not the same as today.
Summoning spirits.
Boy, y'all dancing around doing the different little challenges. I'm like, they were doing some ratchet stuff on the internet back in the day. I was like, why are we?
I hated those like chain mails where it's like, if you don't send this to 10 friends, then you're gonna get killed tonight.
That was back in the day with flip phones.
I didn't like those. No, I was so scared.
I'd be mad when people sent it to me. Like, why did you think of me for this?
Yeah.
Now I'd be scared because my mom. Like, I'm like, Mom, please be okay tonight. They were coming for your family, your friends,
for everybody.
So, one of the ones that I found is called Nature's Revenge. All of the articles and everything down below. But this one is Nature's Revenge. So it says, for eons, mankind has stepped on the environment with zero pushback until nature finally reacts in righteous fury.
As they should.
So, like the birds is one of them.
The knowing.
But although, I don't know, because like the birds happened, but there was nothing, I think, in that movie that the main characters did to make the birds angry. But I don't think there was anything like a bigger message to that one. I think Alfred Hitchcock was just like,
he was afraid of birds. He said, man, fuck these birds.
But what was the other one? Yes, it's called The Feast. So I didn't actually watch this one, but I read all about it because that's like the next best thing. But basically it's where like there's a really rich family and they invite like a worker into the home who's gonna help out with like cooking and all this other stuff. She's like a little bit, you know, we're getting some like odd vibes or some just like different vibes about her. But long story short, she starts like messing stuff up and like starts, you know,
she's fired,
serving them food, you know, people are dying. She's kind of like, but it ends up she's like Mother Nature because the family had some kind of like business or something that was kind of tearing up the land. So because you see her coming like from out of the forest in the beginning, I guess, and then the forest. So at the end you realize she's kind of like revenge of Mother Nature.
Is that what we could say was Mother about too?
Yes,
I said
Mother.
That sentence ugly. Sorry.
That was Mother about too. Yes, but even Mother with Jennifer Lawrence and the whole thing of humans kind of just tearing stuff up. Was that considered a horror film? Okay, yeah, or thriller, horror, something like that. But yeah, kind of like that, where all of a sudden nature starts to take over and it's just we're left, and if we keep going the way we're going, we're gonna see very, very soon.
There's like another one, I don't know if it's called The Knowing or The Happening, but it was like basically people started killing themselves out of nowhere, and the reason why was because of nature. It was by M. Night Shyamalan.
But yeah, just kind of like the nature trope of like nature's gonna come get you. So
that's why I don't go outside. Fuck nature, bro.
It's coming to
Could
get
we say
you.
nope? No.
Well, that was not of the earth.
That's true.
But it's nature somewhere.
True. Okay, I have another one, and that is Nightmare on Halloween. Yep. So we all know those famous movies where like the creatures and the goblins come out, like Trick or Treat. That was a good one. Even Halloween Town, you know, they only are able to come to Earth from Halloween Town on Halloween because that's when the portals open. And also with American Horror Story and Murder House, they can't leave the house unless it's Halloween. That's when they can boop, 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 stroll around. But why?
Or Hocus Pocus. I think that one was like Halloween night. It's all Halloween. Friday. No, not Friday the 13th.
That's not.
No. Wait, no, what's the one?
Halloween?
Yes. Literally Halloween.
But that one's different because like the killer is a person, not really like a spirit.
But they come out. Well, he won't die.
True.
I think we all understand that Michael Myers. What do they call it? I think we can all get that Michael Myers is not a human being. Jamie Lee Curtis has tore him up, burned him alive, stabbed him, shot him even. I think we can all agree that is not a human being.
Anyways, what's yours?
So the next one, I'm going to kind of lump a couple into it. But it's like, I guess the overall trope is like trying to get away, stuff not working.
Oh,
so this is like you start your car. Oh no, the engine dies. Like they will not. That has the horror film industry in a chokehold. I'm like, why are these cars always breaking down last minute? Or when the girl usually trips and falls
over nothing, or
the flashlight isn't working. You know, like every time they're trying to do something, it's not working. So it's like this trope of like right when you're trying to do something. It's just faulty items, faulty plans, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know.
Even like going into somewhere where there's no cell service.
And I feel like it would make movies much more interesting if like things kind of went right a little bit. But like imagine a movie where it's a little bit smarter. Like the characters are like the car does work, you know, then you have to find out creative ways of why they couldn't get away, other than the fact that the car just did not start.
That's true. I mean, there was this one movie called Grave Encounters, and then the sequel. So in Grave Encounters 2, they actually do escape like the mental institution that they were like in, but then like they're trying to leave. Like they get to the hotel and they're packing up and they're going down the elevator, and then boom, elevator doors open, they're back in the mental institution.
Oh,
so that was pretty cool. Oh. So the car worked. They were able to get away, but they weren't really.
But isn't that another trope? Always, or you're stuck in the loop or stuck in the area.
I kind of like that one though. It's kind of creepy.